Tonight's show is in Oklahoma where the wind comes sweeping down the plains. And away we go. We're less than 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble. 30 men and 30 women human centipeded together. Well, I've ruined this classic song, so on to the show. I'm John Rant with my review of WWE Raw from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, Leroy McGurk must be Spain in his grave. Bill Watts would be Spain in his grave if he was dead, but he's not. But man, remember Mid-South Wrestling? You know, the Oklahoma shows, and the fact that Oklahoma has a rich history of wrestling with really good shows, and now they get this in 2022. Not even Electric Boogaloo. I don't have a whole lot of humor for this intro here because, my God, this show, it was a talking segment that was abysmal. Then we go to a match, it doesn't fucking matter. Then we go to another talking segment that's somehow worse than the previous one that was really fucking bad. This show was so phoned in. I would be amazed if some of the crowd didn't walk out. And this would be bad no matter what promotion it was. This would be bad if it was during the Monday Night Wars and WCW put on a show like this, or WWE put on a show like this. And if ECW ran in Oklahoma, that would have certainly been something. The whole point is this would have been bad regardless of the promotion. This is the premier, the most well-known wrestling promotion in the goddamn world. AEW may be putting on better television as far as match quality and everything. There's a lot of great talent in WWE, despite the fact they've been cutting people left, right, and center and burying them in the center of the earth, where we have to take the journey to the center of the earth to find these fucking people, to dig them out and say, go, be free, little birdies, go here. Do I know what I'm on about? No, I really fucking don't. This show was bad. One of the worst Raws they've done, especially since getting crowds back. It's just so phoned in. We are less than 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble, which, of course, the one night of the year where the superstars of Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head. That's actually Survivor Series. But now, all these women, all these men, they get to fight over, you know, who gets to be thrown over the top rope with both feet touching the floor, and the last person standing goes on the show to WrestleMania and gets to face the champion of their choosing. At this point, the Rumble doesn't really matter, and the event is going to be good despite the build. This build to the Rumble and the build to Mania, because we are less than 3 months away, I almost said 3 weeks, less than 3 months away from WrestleMania. 2 nights in Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And it's not like the Cowboys will be using the venue all that much because they lost to the Niners and everything, and it was delightful to see the tears. Why? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Tulsa, Oklahoma. By the way, Martin Luther King Day. Vince McMahon loves Martin Luther King so goddamn much he said the N-word to John Cena while Booker T was right there. Well, he was right there off camera. Tell me he didn't just say that. It's been cut from the cock, by the way. The cock cannot have, you know, the N-word drop there, at least on a wrestling show. And also, remember the words that Ultimate Warrior said about Martin Luther King Jr.? Google it. Google it, and then you will understand one of the main reasons why I say fuck the Ultimate Warrior. I'm glad he's dead. I hope he suffered mightily in the last few years of his life for being a goddamn racist, homophobic, bigoted fuck. And Dana Warrior is not much better. Hopefully the daughters can turn out a whole lot better. So Becky's here. She talks about the Women's Rumble and who she's going to be facing at the Rumble. And these women really tried. Bianca Piper came out first. I have no goddamn idea what Piper was saying. I mean, look, and I understand accents. It is what it is. But when you give people scripted material and you don't just give them bullet points and say, okay, go, sell us on this match. No, you're going to have to treat it like a television show and do this horribly scripted, overly written stuff that's probably been changed about 5 goddamn times in the last hour because Vince McMahon is Clay Fighter McMahon. He doesn't understand what the fuck's going on. Ooh, Clay Fighter, Clay. Anyway. So Bianca comes out and she does say, throw over every 29 women. Okay, so that happens. These things happen, but goddamn, just again, stop giving your talent so many, like, you know, just scripting them to every goddamn word. It isn't very good. Liv, they tried. Oh my God, did they try? They tried to give the fans some restitution. And then they had a brief brawl, and they teased that, and then they went to break. So we're going to get Gable and Majin Buu in a cap and gown, and Majin Buu is going to graduate from Gable University, or the Alpha Academy, or whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, Bianca and Liv took on Becky and Niven. But can they get along? This match, I think, went 5 minutes. maybe. I mean, if it went through a break, even if it went through a break, it didn't really last very long after it came back. It's just a lot of this show just blended together. Piper, she ends up crushing Liv in a few minutes. I mean, just absolutely crushing her. She crushes Becky and Liv because Becky had hit the manhandle slam on Liv after, a little bit of action. And then she pins Liv after tagging herself in and then hits a bonsai drop on Becky that I have not seen since October 24, 2000. For clarity, Yokozuna died the day before. Yokozuna now could do a better bonsai drop. Give her a better move. Seriously, it's not good. So anyway, Edge and so that's basically what they're doing. They're heating up Pepper Niven. And then Edge and Beth try to pump up Reggie and Dana. And because Reggie's going to face Edward James Olmos. And then Priest wants to pick Edge's brain because he's won the Rumble twice, winning it from the number one position. A Canadian family man that won the Royal Rumble from the number one position. That's never happened before. Oh, wait, there was another one. And then he decided to basically tie his wife up in a phone call and also say to his son, what do you think of the future of my pillow? Well, these jokes are getting dark. Let's move on from that. Owens basically tells Priest that they'll have a good, clean match. Let's get on. Oh, anyway. So KO introduces the zebra head Seth frickin' Rollins. Frickin' Rollins. They just hammer that in your goddamn head. They're friends. They are going to stand in the place where they live and now face north. But Rollins talks about playing chess while others are playing checkers. He didn't say checkers. He said checkers. Hulk, no, don't write that. Oh, God damn it, Hulk. So Rollins is going to go SmackDown after he wins the title, isn't he? No, I think he's going to stay on Raw and they're going to have the WWE Championship go to SmackDown, which probably means Lashley's going to fucking lose. Maybe Rollins beats Reigns. I don't actually know what's going to happen. I'd be very, very surprised if Rollins actually beats Reigns. I don't know what they can do. I don't know what they can do. Unless they're going to unify the championships at freaking WrestleMania. So then Owens is declaring himself in the Rumble. I would like to declare myself to be part of the Royal Rumble. Staying at home, watching the goddamn thing, and trying not to fall asleep after working a 9-hour shift earlier that day. So, alright, Priest shows up and tries to salvage this. Veer is coming hard and fast, and eventually. Man, he's been coming for so goddamn long he should consult his doctor. So Priest and Owens had a match that was pretty damn good, actually, as far as action and everything. Playing near falls. Owens fakes a knee injury, and then hits a stunner because he's psyching him out and hits the stunner 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's not the dumbest thing Priest has been involved in. There was a zombie lumberjack match, which is something that I don't know if anybody can overcome. It was really fucking stupid. I do want to also say, before I go any further on this, I hope that Mustafa Ali is granted his release because after being given a bunch of bullshit from WWE, and yes, the injury happened in 2019, right when he was getting that little bit, that what looked like maybe was going to be a serious push against Daniel Bryan, now Bryan Danielson. They were like, oh, Ali's going to go to WrestleMania and beat Bryan. There was not a goddamn chance that they would have had Ali win. I'm not saying he should have won, or shouldn't have won. He should have. He absolutely should have fucking won. There's no way Vince would have made him WWE champion. Then they could have made him the Money in the Bank. And then they made Bork the Money in the Bank winner. Well, that was pretty much it. So I hope Ali is granted his release, whatever he wants to do. If he doesn't want to do wrestling anymore and wants to go make a difference doing something else, he can be like Fatu. Wait, that was Carmelo Hayes wearing that jacket. And he understood the assignment, as the kids say. Whatever the fuck. What assignment are you fucking, understanding here? I don't get it. Clearly, I don't understand the assignment. So, Owens wins. Fine. Whatever. I mean, the U.S. Championship doesn't fucking matter. It's not the Priest doesn't matter. It's just none of this does. So, we get Gable and Majin Buu coming down or whatever. And it's more like, Grad Gable. Come on. Okay. Everybody just simultaneously shut the show off right there. So, assuming that anybody is still watching, let's talk about they wore no pants for their graduation. I can identify with that. My high school wasn't very happy. So anyway, it was also an 80-degree day, so I wore shorts. Get your minds out of the gutter. I run a clean show. They're coming down for this. But first, we get recast of Nikki Ash fisting Rhea. And Nikki then says she wanted to bring Rhea to her knees, and she's the people's hero. Stopped listening when she wanted to bring Rhea to her knees. But I acted perfectly, respectfully, and everything. And if you believe that, you have not paid attention to any of this. Chad the Grad, it just sounds like a knockoff, like Van Wilder movie, doesn't it? Which Van Wilder wasn't really much of a movie. You're never going to look at Eclairs the same way again. Anyway, I grossed myself out. I have no appetite anymore. So, he knocks Oklahoma, which is easy to do. Sorry to everybody in Oklahoma that happens to be watching this. I've actually heard you're a lovely state, but it's just he decided to go for the cheap heat. And he said, my list of accomplishments is long. And he just has this pause and this look. Made it my cover photo, by the way, if you happen to be watching this. And check out my Twitter. And he just has this like grin where he knew exactly what he was saying. And Majin Buu has graduated. And suddenly Vitamin C wept a little bit because she thought they were going to use her graduation song. I love that song. So then Riddle comes in a, freaking graduation cap and gown. And Gable says, what are you talking about? Nobody has understood Riddle at all. Riddle keeps babbling. He wants a rematch. He says, fine. Meet me in St. Louis. Wait, no, that's the pay-per-view. It's the Alpha Academy Mental Challenge. Oh no, we get, Riddle drawing out Majin Buu and RKO out of nowhere. And then Orton puts on the gown. We accept. Remember when Orton actually could be taken seriously and wasn't seen as a fucking joke? Yeah, those were the days. I don't even have anything for that. Vince McMahon should have been slapped for putting on a show like this. But you know what? Vince McMahon, 75-year-old, out-of-touch motherfucking human being, is going to keep doing this. Despite the fact, if they don't sell before the TV contracts come up, they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. They ain't going to get the money that they got from USA Network and Fox with these ratings. Not even close. Ratings are cascading down. They aren't every goddamn thing, but they're a big part of why they get big contracts. Anyway, Orton doing all that shit. Recaps of Balor and Theory. And then we cut to Vince, who says he looks ridiculous. God, Vince just looks ridiculous. Theory versus Balor again. Vince says that if he doesn't win, he doesn't beat him up afterwards, he is going to bring him back here. He's going to beat him up. He's going to go after the face. There's going to be nothing but a pile of blood, snot, and broken teeth. Then he's going to take a selfie, and I'm going to send it to your mom. Ha ha ha. What the fuck's a selfie? Bruce? Kevin? Johnny Ace? Steph? Can't call Triple H. I sent him and his heart's not in it anymore. Ha ha ha. So anyway, we get an MLK Day package. Again, where Vince said the N-word to, where Booker T was nearby. Survivor Series 2005, if you want to actually look for the original broadcast. And Warrior knocking him. Once again, fuck the Ultimate Warrior. I'm glad he's dead. By the way, a lot of minority on minority violence on the show for MLK Day. Balor versus Theory. He wants his Finvenge. Now, that joke played a lot better in my head. I wanted to care, but I couldn't, because I knew what was going to happen. Theory won. Balor needs to go somewhere else where he's appreciated. Unless he's happy there, good for him. He gets a selfie, or he takes a selfie, beats him up, and just, Finn, can you leave? Finn, just go do something else. Just let him do something else. Have him go to NXT UK. Do something. Stop. Don't do this anymore. Theory is a fine athlete. I don't find him interesting at all. He's not a fireball personality. He's not very entertaining. He can wrestle. He definitely can, but that's it. So Rhea will remind everyone of who she is. Sarah, my goodness, Sarah. Rhea, my God. Rhea is just picture perfect. She is going to succeed definitely outside of wrestling because the way they're booking her, she'll probably leave sooner rather than later. But who thought that Zelina and Carmella should be allowed to talk? At least on WWE television. The Queen comments, the Queen accent is fucking stupid. Carmella looks like a goddamn lamppost if it was left out in the sun for 5 years. And just nobody sounds convincing here. And then Rhea took on Nikki Ash. Oh wait, no she didn't. Because Nikki Ash beat her up and then left. No match. It's a great way to use the women there. You had them in a sub 10-minute match for the opener. And then you have this. And then Dana was giving Reggie advice. God, he's fucking doomed. I'm sure Dana's nice, but just, God, Dana's trying. She's trying, but good fucking grief is 24/7 such bullshit. Church, Tozawa, Tamina, and a ref are eating popcorn. Tamina sent the ref down the stairs to channel her dad, and they had to get a new ref. It was uncomfortable for everybody. Almost then beat Reggie after some 24/7 bullshit, and Tamina stared almost down like, my dad could have taken you, but no. Her dad only beat women, and now he's burning in hell for his dumb, son of a bitch attitude and the fact he was a cokehead and a piece of shit and an abuser, and I hope he rotted horribly from the inside and suffered mightily since he never spent a day in jail for what he did to Nancy. By the way, big old choke bomb, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Edward James almost beats Reggie. I think it's Reggie's first loss. Or one of his, well, no, he lost the 24/7 championship at some point. That's pretty resounding loss. Maurice then calls out Beth. She calls her Beth. Okay, look, Beth and Edge, Maurice and Miz. They want to team up. They want to have this match. It means something to them. Great. Hate it. Fucking hate it. It's terrible. This was ridiculous. At one point, she hits Beth with a loaded purse after Miz attacks Edge. And it's a loaded purse with a brick. She's a brick and I'm drowning slowly. So the Profits make an entrance, and then the Mysterios make their entrance for an 8-man tag. It's the Mysterios against Dolphin Roode and Apollos. It's not Apologies. It's not the thing from Clockwork Orange. Nope, we're not here for a little bit of the ultra-violence. Except me wanting to take Vince and all his goons and throw them in a volcano while all the kids watch and can't do anything. I know it's wrestling, but seriously, this is something I love. Vince is making me wonder why I've given his company chance after chance after chance. So, this is the same stuff you've seen 1,000 times. It wasn't bad, but it was what it was. Earlier, the Mysterios and the Profits talked about, we're going to eliminate, people and win the Royal Rumble, except only one person can win. And then, Frog Splash from the heavens, 1, 2, 3, and then right before that, Ray actually hit Dominic and Commander Aziz with his taint. Then again, there are worse things that a wrestler's dad did to their son. So, Mysterios and the Profits do the over-the-top rope thing, and Ray tosses Dominic. Could have been worse. Could have been worse, Dominic. Anyway, so Lashley and Bork with respective video packages. They were doing some good stuff here. The production, great stuff. They just glossed over the fact that Brock originally left to go to the NFL and not the UFC. And also made a stop in New Japan, but they can't show that footage and everything. And they also glossed over how Lashley had an Impact run. A pretty good Impact run. Not necessarily the first one, but the second one. And when it comes to mental health, it's important to know when you may have a problem. And that is true. If you seek help, if you need, and this is something, after the Lashley Bork pre-tapes, do something, seek help, talk to people. There are people out there. They said Alexa, clearly has a problem. So they took a good message and put it with this bullshit. Recaps of the couples dash. They did the couples dash. Miz and Maurice gloat. This is stupid. Oh, and it's Maurice's birthday next week. We're getting a crude oil bloodbath. Alexa therapy again. She keeps mentioning Lily. And in something better, because literally anything is better than this Alexa Bliss bullshit. And I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about the character. This is stupid. Oh, she moves merch. Yeah, Jim Jones also convinced people that was good tasting Kool-Aid. And I hate to say it, but Jim Jones probably had, more upside than this. Oh, that was mean. So we get a weigh-in, a birthday celebration, and a mental challenge all next week. What a go-home show that's going to be for Raw. Or for the Royal Rumble, rather. So, Lashley versus Seth freaking Rollins. And it's a battle of the contenders. There was neat focus on Lashley. There was a nice dragon screw. There was some good stuff. Lashley kept coming back, kept selling the knee. Pedigree for 2. Lashley tosses him off the top for, a pretty good spot, actually. And then suddenly, Cedric and Shelton show up and attack and they do the thing. And then he spears one of them through the barricade. And then the Usos attack Rollins. That was your second to last Raw before the Rumble. But can they get along? Okay, if anybody's still watching after this, I am not going to be reviewing Raw right after it's done because I'm going to be doing a schedule change from this Wednesday to the following Tuesday. So any reviews that I normally do right after the shows are done are going to be done later that night or early in the morning. So adjust your clocks accordingly if you're into that. Otherwise, just wait for the videos. They'll be up. Anyway, agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.